Hey everyone, welcome back to my mini podcast series. Today we're going to be discussing RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13. Who is going to take the crown? My name is Ollie Drennan. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. But before that, like, share, subscribe. I would really appreciate that so much. It's free to do, and I could make more of these mini podcast videos for you guys if you guys support me. So anyways, I wanted to come here and talk about this top four today because I'm actually really excited about the finale coming up. I mean, tomorrow, it's Thursday today when I'm shooting this, filming this, recording this, whatever you want to call it. And tomorrow is actually going to be the what is it called? The reunion, which will kind of be like the recap. But we already know it's going to be a top four, which we have Gottmik, Candy Muse, Rose, and Simone. I guess also this video we can talk a little bit about Miss Congeniality, who's going to win that as well. But before that, I do want to talk about the top four and what I think will happen and maybe what I don't think will happen. Just kind of like, I'm just going to ramble a little bit, so bear with me, guys. I have my predictions. I have a couple. I think this can go in a couple different ways about who's going to win. But at the same time, I'm excited because I actually don't know who is going to win for sure. I think since season 9... this is the first time where I'm a little stumped about the finale and who's going to win. Season 9, we had such great, strong competitors. You had Sasha, Shay, Trinity, Peppermint. Up until now, you kind of figure out who was going to win. Like season 10, that was for sure Aquaria. Season 11, it was Evie's season. And then season 12, like, I just thought Jada had it in the bag personally. Season 13, we have three very, very strong queens addressing Candy Muse. I'm just gonna say this now. Sorry, Candy fans. This is no disrespect to Candy. Candy's not gonna win this. She's just not. She's only had one win. She had several high weeks, but she was in the bottom 3 times, and I just don't see her taking the crown. This is not her crown. I feel like the other 3 competitors for sure have a huge chance of winning in comparison to our Candy. I'm sorry, Candy, but congratulations. Your personality really got you, and your charisma, I'll add that too, really got you to the top 4. So I guess I'm going to start off with kind of like the least likely to win, in my opinion, to most likely going to win. But granted, I'm still very confused, so take all of this with kind of like a grain of salt, because I still see it, despite my predictions, I still see like any one of these 3 queens getting the crown. So first and foremost, Gottmik. I think Gottmik is probably the least likely to win out of the 3. I think she already has made such tremendous headlines. Also, disclaimer, I'm a huge Gottmik stan. She's already made great news and headlines about being the first trans man contestant competing on RuPaul's Drag Race. She has won amazing challenges. She's had 2 wins, correct me if I'm wrong. It's Ball Challenge, and that is the Snatch Game she won, and she's been high several weeks, and those are 2 very strong challenges to win. First and foremost, extremely strong challenges, especially Snatch Game. I definitely see her as a winner for sure. Potentially, it would make her history for being the first trans man to win RuPaul's Drag Race, absolutely. But at the same time, the reason why I don't see Gottmik winning necessarily is, 1, I would love to see her on All Stars. I mean, who wouldn't? And 2, I think she needs a little bit more experience with performing. I thought okay, hear me out. She slayed it in the last week with the musical, not the musical, what is that? The music video for Lucky. She slayed it. She had my favorite performance, but that's different. That was her performing as opposed to a lip sync. Especially if you're going against in a lip sync for the crown or lip sync in their life, it still isn't confirmed what we're getting. No spoilers, please. If there are spoilers out there, this is not a spoiler Reddit. I want to be surprised, guys. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. But in a lip sync against someone, I don't see Gottmik winning necessarily. And I think that's the route they're going to go again. It's caught on. I think Gottmik might have some cool reveals maybe, possibly. But I don't see her winning against Rosé or Simone, or even Candy if she's paired with Candy, which I don't think will happen. Don't get me wrong. And I'm saying this as a fan of Gottmik. I would love to see her win, but I don't see Gottmik necessarily taking the crown as opposed to Simone and Rose. Like I said, I want to see more of Gottmik on an all-star season. I think she doesn't necessarily need the crown to be a star. She's already a star. Moving on to the next contestant, who I think is a little bit more likely, Simone. Let me put another disclaimer. I love Simone. Simone and Gottmik are probably my two favorite contestants of this season. I am huge fans of them. I want them to win. I want Simone to win just as much as I want the next bitch to win. Huge supporter of Simone since day one. Also, going back to my review of the cast, I think I called Simone as one of my top 4. Maybe Gottmik too. It's been 4 months, y'all. I think she's making it to the top with Candy Muse and Gottmik so far. These are my predictions, y'all. This season has been so damn long. We're on the 100th episode, for crying out loud, of season 13. But Simone, obviously, I knew she would prove herself in this competition, winning 4 times. She's not just Gigi Good's sister. She is Simone. Bitch. And yes, she's been at the bottom twice. But I think what's special about Simone is that she already won this season. She didn't need the crown to necessarily win. I mean, maybe she will win the crown. Who knows? We'll find out in 2 weeks. But I think she just won the fans over, along with Gottmik. But Simone especially, honestly, out of all of the top 4, not saying that no one else besides Simone has heart, but I think Simone has the biggest heart. You know, she really is also not only Simone, but she's also Reggie. She's also a human behind the artistic form of her drag character, which is Simone. There's also Reggie, and I think we've really gotten to know Simone out of everyone. So I think that's why she's been such a huge fan favorite. Not only is she so gorgeous and talented, we really got to fall in love with Simone week after week as a human being. And I think that's really important for a winner of Drag Race to also have, along with their talents. Prediction-wise, I think Simone will make it to at least top 2. But my only critique of Simone not winning is because she just fully, like, her character. I'm thinking about her storyline, okay? I feel like Simone's storyline was kind of like overcoming that doubt and kind of overcoming her inner saboteur, her shyness, and not allowing people to take her love for herself away from her. And I feel like in this, at least in this storyline, not saying Simone didn't have like any love for herself before the show. I'm sure she did, absolutely. But at least that's what the show painted. And she just kind of fully realized and had such a beautiful emotional moment on the top 4 stage when she kind of confessed to the judges about like her journey and her message to herself, her younger self, Reggie. And her finally realizing that and having that moment, she is fully ready to go and slay on an all-star season. I'm not sure if she's going to take the crown because of this storyline that she had, you know, if that makes sense. I'm thinking as a producer standpoint. I'm not saying that I don't want Simone to win, and I don't think that her having this storyline should not allow her to be eligible for the crown. But that's like my only take as like a producer. And obviously the producers take note of who are the fan favorites. And clearly, you want to have fan favorites in an all-star season. Who are the fan favorites of this season? Gottmik and Simone. Also, could you imagine Simone and Gigi Good on a season of All-Stars? I don't know if that's happening. That's more like a fantasy because obviously they're in the House of Avalon, so I don't know necessarily if like they would want that to happen. I feel like maybe they would want to be on a separate All-Star season, watch Gigi win one season of All-Stars and then Simone win another season of All-Stars, be like, House of Avalon has 2 wins. I'm just thinking so far ahead, y'all, but let's be real. Drag Race has a full expected lifespan with how popular it's gotten. But like I said, I'm a huge fan of Simone and I would love to see her win the crown. I still can see her potentially winning for sure. Strong performer, had a great track record, a fan favorite, but you never know with this show and the potential format that we might be getting, which I think because we have a top 4 will be the lip sync for the crown format where you kind of have like a tournament, a drag tournament, a battle royale, some might say. Last but not least, the queen who I think is most likely to win, might shock and surprise you guys, is Rosé. Someone who I didn't actually think would make it to the top 4, but she won me over. She's not even my favorite, y'all. Another disclaimer, so don't come at me in the comments. I'm a huge, much bigger stan of Gottmik and Simone. But I think Rosé is most likely to win this actual season of Drag Race. Starting with the reasons why she was never in the bottom besides the whole pork chop ordeal, which I don't really count because no one ended up going home. It was all kind of like this gimmick. It was something new to introduce, especially with COVID and, making the queen, keeping them separate and kind of hoping to set up storylines. But Rosé really started off, obviously weak, just being in the pork chop. But she, over the course of the show, really proved herself and got the judges noticing her. She is honestly a triple threat. She won 3 challenges. She's funny. She did well in Snatch Game. She didn't even win Snatch Game, but she remembered her performance in Snatch Game. She can sing. She can dance. She can act. She can also be very funny. She is a quadruple threat, actually, and has consistently just done well. I think she was low once later in an episode, but other than that, she's never lip synced for her life besides being in the top 4 after her performance in Lucky, because everyone had to lip sync solo, actually. And in that lip sync with Whitney Houston, I thought she was actually the strongest. Simone did a great job, second best for sure, but I thought Rosé murdered that performance in the Lucky episode. Not only in the Lucky episode, not even in the Lucky song, but I also thought she murdered that Whitney song. She killed it. And I'm like, oh my God, Rosé, I think she just won. Like, I honestly think Rosé won in that solo lip sync. That's, to me, was the moment that Rosé won, if she does end up winning. So never in the bottom, 3 wins, not 4 wins like Simone, but Rosé really proved herself and won people over, including myself. Like, I wasn't a fan of Rosé before the show started like I was of Simone and Gottmik, but she really slapped me in the face and told me, like, no, bitch, you're my fan too, ho. She really proved me wrong, and I'm really like slapping myself. I'm like, damn, Rosé, girl. I am a fan of Rosé. However, I think because she's done so well and really showed us everything a winner has, I don't know if I really want to see her on an all-star season. I think she kind of deserves a crown. Like, I have to give credit where credit is due. Like, give this bitch the crown. Obviously, like I said, I still want Gottmik and Simone. Like, I would love to see them with the crown as well. But I think Rosé is also a very deserving winner of season 13. I suppose if Rosé lacked in anything, it's maybe a storyline this season because, they tried setting up the whole Olivia and Rosé storyline, kind of like a vet versus like newbie in drag. Didn't go anywhere. They tried setting up a rivalry with Tina and Rosé. They kind of ended up squashing it immediately and becoming friends, especially in the makeover challenge. And Rosé just kind of was like, look, I'm just focusing on the competition. And I guess that kind of worked in her favor. The main drawback with Rosé not winning this season would be not her talent, but kind of like what the producers showed us. Like, I think they lacked a lot of moments, and maybe this was also from Rosé herself, of showing that vulnerability, that heart aspect that Simone has, that Gottmik has, that hell, even Candy Muse has. Like, we didn't see a whole lot of soft sides of Rosé this whole entire season because she was just on go. She was like, I'm going to win this damn thing. And I guess maybe you don't need that heart aspect, but that heart aspect, that compassion, that humanizing factor, that you're also a human behind the drag artist, the entertainer, like, we want to still see that. Like, at least I do. Speaking for myself, like, I love seeing that humanizing factor in a queen that wins Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race. But like I said, all of these 3 queens totally deserve the crown. Like, I'm speaking like point blank period. Like, I can see any 3 of them winning, to be perfectly honest. These are my reasons. These are my predictions, my thoughts on the top 3, because like I said, I don't think Candy will win out of the 4. Like, let's be real. Like, I said what I said. Candy ain't winning this season. Before I end this video, I do want to talk a little bit about Miss Congeniality and who do I think will win, most likely to win, also who I kind of wanted to win, who I don't think will win. Because I think now, since season 10, it's the queens that vote for Miss Congeniality, whereas it used to be the fan vote. But I think with season 9, it caused a lot of controversy with the fan vote, especially being like more so fan favorite rather than Miss Congeniality. And honestly, let's be real, there were lots of likable queens this season. I think my first vote, I would give it to Misha Mon, because I think she really just like showed like, look, I could be Cancer, I could be congenial, I could be a strong queen. I know she didn't win anything, obviously. She went home third. But I think she just really won so many people over with her story. And her supposed to be on season 12 getting the call, but wasn't able to because of her cancer. And obviously, I, like a lot of people, wanted to see more of Tamisha. Another queen who I absolutely fell in love with was Denali. I think she had great confessionals. Underrated queen. Really did great in a lot of challenges. But obviously was sent home way too soon due to not even her own, no, it wasn't even her own fault, but I'm sure we'll see her on All Stars. But because the queens vote for Miss Congeniality, I think because this queen was there for a really long time, showed that she was likable for sure, maybe not, maybe believable at some certain times. But I think the queen that will actually win, because the queens are choosing the queen nowadays with Miss Congeniality, to make it more fair, I suppose, I think it would be Olivia Lux who wins Miss Congeniality, which I don't think is most deserving. I think she'll win because she was there for a really long time. She got to meet all the queens, got to kind of like bond with them. Everyone knows Olivia as the nice, likable girl. The reason why I don't really agree with Olivia winning, maybe because yes, she was likable. She was very nice to everyone. It just seemed a little forced at certain times. Like, it seemed too forced. Like, she was there to, like, win Miss Congeniality. Like, that's like, I'm the good girl. I only been doing drag for one. And this sounds so bad. This is no disrespect to Olivia Lux at all. But in terms of winning Miss Congeniality, I think it should go to Tamisha or Denali, or hell, even Lala Ree, who is really, really likable and I thought had such amazing confessionals, who I think is much deserving than Olivia, because I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who, I'm not an Olivia hater. I don't hate Olivia Lux. I just thought I thought she did great this season, but sometimes even in her challenges, it was just the nice girl act just seemed a little bit too forced. But I think she'll end up winning. I think the queens will vote for her. Let me know your thoughts on who's gonna win. Who do you think will win? If we have this lip sync for your crown format, who do you think is going to win Miss Congeniality? Let me know what you guys think. We have a week away from the actual finale. I'm super excited. I think it can go, like I said, in 3 different ways. But until then, guys, like I said, like, share, subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch at Ollie Dreamer. I would really appreciate the follow. Keep up with me. And yeah, let's become friends or something. I don't know. Yeah, let's get it poppin'. I love you guys. Stay safe. Wear your masks. Get vaccinated. Wash them paws. And I love you very much. Until then, sashay away. Bye, guys.